Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Andrew with All Things Fantasy, and today I'm bringing you my first mock draft video. Um, so you see we're here in this lobby. It's a 12-team mock draft, and I think I'm gonna do a mock draft for like each size, in like an 8-team, a 12, a 10-team, and a 12-team league, and just kind of give you an idea of because they're gonna be slightly different by like obviously more players are gonna go in 12-team leagues, less player in 8-team leagues, so. I think I'm gonna do one for each. Just kind of give you guys examples, and then yeah. So in this draft, a mock draft, I got the fifth pick overall. So that means for all the odd rounds, I'm gonna be having the fifth pick in that round, and for the even rounds, I'll have the fourth pick in the round because it's gonna alternate. Like if I had the first pick in the first round, I'll have the eighth pick in the second round. So I mean, I personally like to get a pick, right in like in the middle around here, um, because then you're kind of in the middle of each round, and you don't have to wait a really long period of time before your next pick. Um, yeah, so something to note before this draft starts real fast is that Le'Veon Bell has moved down significantly in the rankings since his suspension, or supposed, or his he's supposed to be suspended for 4 games, so he's moved down a lot in the rankings since then. I don't know why I just keep clicking his name. Anyways, I'm gonna click off. Whatever. That's something to note. Like he's definitely fallen a lot. I'd still probably say he's probably in my top five, but he's definitely fallen a lot. And he's not he's more of a second round guy. Looking at it now. So Antonio Brown went one, Odell Beckham went two, Julio Jones three. It's just pretty routine stuff. And people were drafting AP first pick, and I just didn't agree with that. I think now that Bell's out, David Johnson is the next second best running back. So I think this is a great pick to get. This is a great player to get in fifth overall. It's just in my opinion, he's the second best running back. And I got him with the fifth pick overall. So that's good. That's a good pick for me. I like having David Johnson. Um, yeah. So now as we look towards the second round, um, we'll see if I can get a really good receiver. Because that's definitely the combo you want to go with. You want to go with a elite running back, elite receiver, and then kind of work your way down. I mean, if you get stuck in a spot where you got to pick up two elite running backs or two elite receivers, then you just kind of gotta go with that. But I mean, ideally, you get an elite receiver, elite running back, and then you kind of get still a really good running back and a really good receiver, and then pick up a good tight end and pick up whoever you want for your flex, and that's your first 6 rounds. Yeah, so for your first 6 rounds on your list, if you're using the list from my draft guide series, or if you kind of tweaked and made your own, the only 3 lists you want to be looking at for the first 6 rounds are running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends, because those are the only positions you care about right now. And then, like I said, around the 7th, 8th round, that's when you want to start looking for a quarterback. And then you're back to running backs, receivers, and then at the end you pick up your defense and kicker. Looking who's available right now. Like Lamar Miller's still out there. He's definitely the best running back right now available. But I'm not looking to get and Jamal Charles is actually out there. Jamal Charles was 6th on my list. And honestly, I think Jamal Charles is probably one of the best running backs out there. But yeah, let's go. Let's try to get a receiver right now. So we're focused on receivers. To me, Brandon Marshall out there. Brandon Marshall, I had him ranked 6th, and he's still out there. You look at some of the guys drafted. I see Gronk went at 11. That's really interesting. And yeah, Dez Bryant went at 12. Oh yes, those were first round picks because it's a 12 team league. So I guess Le'Veon Bell is a first rounder in bigger leagues, but he's a late first rounder. But in smaller leagues, he'll be an early second rounder. So it's two picks. Brandon Marshall's still out there. I'm kind of hoping I get him. So pick Eddie Lacy. Ooh, I don't really like that pick. Man, Eddie Lacy, I had Eddie Lacy like 17th. Wow, I don't know why he picked Eddie Lacy. That was an interesting pick. But yeah, Brandon Marshall. I mean, Allen Robinson when he was on my list, I had Marshall actually ranked above Robinson. Okay, so yeah, he picked Mark Ingram, and I get Brandon Marshall. That's a great pick. I'm so far I love my lineup. Um, got an elite receiver and an elite running back, and I'm happy with the way this draft's going so far. So we keep looking, and so now, like in my mind, I'm trying to set myself up for either another running back, a receiver. But if a good tight end, falls in my lap, like Jordan Reed, I might take Jordan Reed if the opportunity presents itself. Um, Obviously Gronk already went, and you could wait a while, like it's either take Jordan Reed and or you could wait and you can pick up Greg Olsen, or you could wait a while after that. I don't think Delaney Walker's. Yeah, no, I would take Eifert or Kelsey over Walker, and you can get Eifert and Kelsey way down here, in the 90s. So basically, if somebody takes Jordan Reed, then I'll wait probably till like the 5th round to take him, to get up tight end. If not, I'll get him now. Unless there's like a really, really good running back or wide receiver still available that I think is better than Jordan Reed, then obviously I'm going to do that. So who we got? We got Sammy Watkins right now, and Sammy Watkins was ranked 10th on my list, and Mike Evans was ranked 11th on my wide receiver list. Running backs: Jonathan Stewart, Hyde, and Forte. I had Forte at 13. I didn't like Hyde or Stewart. Yes, I mean, so like I said, so what? The 30 was 13. Forte was 13 overall in running backs, and Watkins was 10. Oh, so Watkins just went. Okay, so now that that's off the board, Jordan Reed's right there, and to me, he's ranked over a lot of these guys. Keenan Allen is interesting. He's 11. But I'm going to draft Jordan Reed. As he's kind of just falling in my lap here. And pretty confidently too. Like, it's kind of a toss-up pick, but I think Washington's a team that they don't have any elite receivers on their team, but Jordan Reed has become an elite tight end and has become their number one target, and he's gonna be putting up big numbers. So you might as well fill out that spot with him. So now next 2 rounds, wide receiver, running back. That's what we're looking at. Filling out those starters. So Forte still out. So obviously we just saw that the first running back just went. The guy actually went back to back. Newton Forte Newton, but so that was the first quarterback off the list was Cam. He went what? That was technically the 4th round, which I think is a big mistake. I mean, I know Cam's ranked really high, 'cause how many points he was putting up, but I don't think he's worth a fourth round pick. Okay, so you see Russell Wilson's kind of creeping up in this list now. I thought Aaron Rodgers would be in this list somewhere. I guess somebody drafted him. Somebody did draft him. Wow, somebody drafted him 24. I'm mistaken. Okay, wow, that was a big mistake in my opinion. Okay, so now, so Deion Lewis is available. I think that's what I'm definitely gonna go with. I had Deion Lewis ranked 15. You know, yeah. I mean, to me, this is the guy I gotta go with. I liked Macklin, but I don't. To me, he wasn't as high as I wasn't as high on him as I was Lewis for running backs. I was more, you know, out to the top 20 on Macklin. I think it's important to get those running backs. Like there's so many wide receivers that can have good seasons. Where running backs, it's not the same. So you really want to establish a good, solid running back core. And I like Deion Lewis as a pick. I think he's very underrated this season, and I like my team. Obviously I have some right now. I have pretty standout names: David Johnson, Marshall, and Reed. But Lewis is kind of that guy who people are like, oh, they're gonna kind of discredit him, but I think he has a lot of value and he's very underrated. So now I'm looking at wide receiver. Definitely, I need a wide receiver now to finish my starters, and then obviously I need a flex. I'll probably go wide receiver for both. Um, there's a whole just bunch of running backs right here. Looking at the wide receivers, you kind of gotta judge it by like where you're at. So I'm what seventh. I'm 7 picks away. So kind of go down the list a little bit, and kind of gotta assume you're gonna draft somebody in this range. If I get Michael Floyd, that'd be great. Um, I doubt I get him though. I'm not a big on Moncrief. I would take Larry. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to. If all these guys go, I would really. I really don't want to take. I really don't want to take a running back. Yeah, there's just a big. Oh yeah, so John Brown's down there. I think I might try to pick him up in the 6th round as my flex. So now we're gonna look at who we're gonna pick up now. So some guys are drafting running backs now, probably because they don't have running backs. That guy just went running back. I wonder what his team looks like if he just drafted 2 running backs. So now I actually might get Michael Floyd. So then if I get Michael Floyd, I'm not getting John Brown because they're on the same team. And like when I was talking about this earlier, like you want to draft people on the same team, but like especially the same position, right? Like running backs, like I don't know why you ever would. Like you should never draft him as like a backup or like the second string. You should just pick him up off free agency if the starter gets hurt. And for wide receivers, obviously, like there can be multiple starting receivers on the team, but I would never double up on one because then you kind of not like rooting against like some like one person, but like like you're limiting your amount of production, right? Because like the odds of them having both great games are not great. So I still have Eric Decker, Sanders, and Floyd available right now. So that was crazy how like none of them went. Um, and wow, I had Decker pretty high on my list. But all right, so the reason I'm not going to draft him is because I have Marshall, and I just said how that's going to affect it. So now down to Sanders or Floyd, and I'm going to take Sanders because I did have Sanders ranked higher, and Floyd all right, like Arizona's receivers obviously they're all good, but the thing you got to remember is that like the reason not to draft 2 is because you're limiting production because the odds of them having huge games are really slim because obviously there's only so many yards to go around. There's only so many passes they're gonna throw in a game. So I mean that could be a reason not to draft an Arizona wide receiver. I don't think it's gonna be that serious. I think they're still we'll take it not to just get one. Like obviously, they're gonna have they're gonna have good games, throughout the season. So they're still worth getting. But I don't think you should get two because then you're kind of just you're limiting your own team's production. But yeah, I mean, now that I drafted Sanders, I mean I'd still draft Brown. Like as far as wide receivers, I mean, yeah, Michael Floyd, Larry Fitz, and John Brown are all really close to each other on ESPN's list, and but on my list, I mean, I guess I really didn't rank. They weren't in my top 25, but they were right outside of it. I would probably say Floyd is right there, right outside my top 25. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm discrediting Larry Fitzgerald just because he's getting a little older. But then yeah, I probably put John Brown right there too. And then obviously we can start getting into here we go, Hearns. I mean Hearns, yeah, Crabtree, Lockett, we got some rookies. So now my pick's coming up again. And we're faced with my flex position. Yeah, so I'm already looking at the quarterback situation. Drew Brees went. Andrew Luck went. I might have to settle for an Eli or a Blake Bortles, which wouldn't be the worst thing. I was looking at Carson Palmer. He was up here somewhere. Even Tom Brady's right here. I could sneak maybe one of those guys. But let's look what we're going to try to get here. Yes, I said John Brown is right there. Man, but Hearns and Crabtree are also right there. And actually, Stephon Diggs too. Very interesting, very intriguing pick. Stephon Diggs. Dang. Wow, this is very tough. Now I'm faced with John Brown, Allen Hearns. That's really my big decision right now. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go John Brown. But that was really tough. They're both kind of receivers that they're. I mean, they're not the main guys on their team, but they're still gonna get touches, and maybe that's honestly could be a benefactor. They're not the main guy, but maybe if Larry or Michael Floyd is drawing a lot of attention, John Brown could be a guy that has a huge game some weeks, and same thing with Hearns. So now we're looking at Palmer or Brady. If they both get picked, I might just steal Hearns and then wait and then take Bortles or Eli or somebody. But yeah, definitely. Now that we filled out my starters from running back to flex, we're just looking for a QB, and then we can go to bench. So it's already the 6th round, and actually it's almost the 7th round. No, it's 7th. So it's the 7th round, and it's 20 minutes. This video is 20 minutes in, so hopefully this video isn't crazy long. I'm trying to shoot for under an hour here, but it's just kind of hard. But take this drafts just take time, and I know some people are Like, look, this guy's on auto draft, which is kind of really discouraging. The fact that he's not even here. Like, why would you go to a mock draft and not even be here? But I mean, his lineup's kind of shitty. You know, he's got some running backs, not really solid running backs. Receiver core's pretty solid. Tight end, I mean, not bad. Element, okay, it's decent, but you know, you can't win a fantasy league having just garbage running backs. I'm sorry, I really like I really like my lineup so far. I got, like I said, my two elites running backs. I got my running back and Johnson and wide receiver Marshall, and also then Lewis, who I think is underrated, but still, you know, he's really solid. Carson Palmer went, but Brady's still out there. And dude, I'm honestly like, I'm all for drafting him. You know, I think I'm gonna be able to get him here. Now I'm faced with the Hearns Brady situation. Dang. Huh. I I'm gonna draft Tom Brady, you know, with confidence too, like knowing he's gonna be suspended. That means I'm gonna draft another QB later, which is I'm fine with. But you know, I'm gonna do it full confidence. You know, drafting Tom Brady. To me, the fifth best quarterback in this draft. Um, Wait, was Ben Roethlisberger drafted? Like, maybe I should have looked that up before I drafted him. Yeah, okay, Ben Roethlisberger was drafted a long time ago. Yeah, so now we're trying to go. Now we're just filling the bench. Hey, we need to draft like backup QB at some point. Like Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr could be it. Maybe even a little sooner. We can go again. Like if we get one of those guys, I guess. You know, still get Eli. Like as a Hearns went right after. So I mean, maybe I should have drafted Hearns, but I didn't. I didn't need my quarterback. I was kind of in the situation. Oh, okay. Arian Foster, a running back who I do like. I think it's really underrated this season. I mean, obviously, also you got J.J. who. This is gonna be interesting now that Arian Foster went to the Dolphins because J.J. was like gonna be the guy, right? He was, I think, my 20th overall or my 19th, so he was my top 20. And but now they're gonna face this probably situation where they have to like split carries, um, which it's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be some situation to a Giovanni Bernard, Jeremy Hill situation in last year, where they're both gonna have good weeks and put up numbers, but none of them's gonna be like a crazy, none of them's gonna have gonna be a huge elite running back just because they're they're splitting carries. Um, but obviously, like if one of them gets injured, then you definitely want the healthy running back. You definitely want the healthy one because they're going to be in a ton of production. All right, so yeah, so now we're getting up here, and Manning just went. Portals is still out there. Um, Stefon Diggs is right here. I would like to get Diggs if he doesn't get picked. I feel like this guy's not here, so he's gonna get the auto drafted Jones, which is nice, and then I get Diggs. That's what happened. Okay, this is great. I'm picking Stefon Diggs. Um, pretty confidently taking digs. D'Angelo Williams is interesting. If the suspension holds, he's gonna have a ton of production like he did last year for the first couple weeks. Um, Carlos Williams is suspended. That's something to note. Um, if Bortles just stays there the whole time because people don't need quarterbacks anymore, I mean, I might just I'll snag him. I don't think it's gonna happen because this guy's on auto pick, so he's gonna just get him. Actually, no, he might not get him by default if he already has a quarterback. He does, so that could work out for me. Um, I definitely wouldn't mind getting a rookie too. Like, now that I just drafted Diggs, I probably don't want to get Treadwell, but Will Fuller down here is interesting. Blake Bortles just went. Oh, he went to the guy that was on our draft, so maybe it doesn't matter. So now I gotta rethink my game plan here. Now that I have four receivers, I probably should get another running back. You definitely need a backup. Like, I guess just kind of pick 'em a poison here. Um, Henry. I mean, drafting a rookie is you know I can't draft one because I already have Lewis. Riddick. I'm not big on Detroit running backs. He's going to be suspended. Won't get playing time after week 4. Week 4. So back up. I just wow. That's all I got to work with. It's just oh man. We are gonna go. I guess we're gonna go Garrett Blunt. Oh, what did I just do? No, 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 no. Okay, that actually worked out. I didn't want. Okay, that worked out better. I drafted Doral Green Beckham, um, which wasn't the worst thing. Not that I was really high on him, but he's a Tennessee receiver, and I didn't. I was like, let's draft. I totally just forgot about what I said about Blunt that I have Lewis, so I can't draft him. And okay, wow, I almost made a huge mistake there, but I didn't. That's something you gotta keep in mind. Like I forget about it. It's like you kind of get caught up, and when you get your back against the wall, and you gotta make a pick really fast. You kind of forget like who you have, what teams, what players you have on what teams, and you're not thinking straight. But now I really need another running back. So, um, um, I mean, Kendrick. What I mean, yeah. Now it's all second string running backs, backup running backs. Like it's definitely not like the cream of the crop picks. Man, Will Fuller's still out there. But oh, I guess my auto pick was on. That's discouraging. So we got Michael Thomas. Okay. Wow. Um, okay. Well, I guess that's something that happens. Is your auto pick just gets toggled on and off? Like, what the fuck is this? No. I was honestly gonna go down. I guess I thought that I was gonna go down and get Will Fuller because I didn't like the running backs that were available. that are like up here, and then I was gonna go get Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr as my backup QB, and then I was gonna look for a running back for a defense, and I guess I was gonna kind of play it out like with two running backs right now, and like I was basically my strategy was I was gonna draft just wide receivers because I found there's a lot of still good value when my receivers left, and then trade and then use them as as just trade value to trade for a running back if I needed it. Um, so that was my strategy, but it didn't really fucking work out because didn't really fucking work out because dumbass fucking auto draft. That was so dumb. I'm kind of mad about that. Even though it's a mock draft, like it's good to learn from your it's a mistake. Auto drafted but it is kind of dumb. Sony played the defense already, so yeah, so definitely now like time to start headhunting defenses, and you got your top defenses all around here, your top kicker even. So we'll look to pick up one of these defenses when it gets back to me. Man, that's still yeah. That was just I can't even believe that happened. Like that stinks. But yeah, so for this strategy, like obviously, so I'm starting Kirk Cousins the first 4 weeks, and then Brady comes back, and he's my guy. Um, to me, it's still two pretty solid quarterbacks. Um, yeah, I got the Kirk Cousins Jordan Reed connection there. I like that. That's fine. I mean, it's every time Kirk Cousins throwing a TD to Jordan Reed, I'm getting points for both. Um, I like that. Wow, why does this feel like it's going so slow now? It's gonna go by really fast. This is gonna go by auto picks, and then this guy's gonna be on the clock again, and then auto pick. Um, he might have just went to auto pick. He did go to auto picks. Now it's gonna go boom, 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 and yeah, look at that, just skips. This is what I don't like. I was gonna talk about this. Like a lot of people, they go to these drafts and like they just kind of like stop at the later rounds, which is really discouraging. So now like that they're like not here, they're not auto pick. They're filling out their defense because they need one. So the Seahawks and Panthers D just went. So now I'm definitely looking at the Texans D. Um, yeah, and then the Gakowski just went. Cardinals D went. I would really like the Cardinals D. But yeah, Texans D to me, like they were one of the best defenses available. And the Chiefs D. Yeah, fuck yeah. To me, hell yeah, I'm down with the Texans D. I was down with the Chiefs D too. I'm coming back around, kicker. Because I feel like this is another thing of being aware of like the situation you're in. Now a lot of people are on auto pick, so auto pick's gonna fill out your lineup for you, and they're gonna fill in your kicker and your defense because you need your kicker and defense. And so now you gotta start looking at the best kickers available to try to because that's what the auto you gotta think about what the auto pick's gonna do. So now I'm looking at kicker to steal kicker. I'll make sure I get a good kicker, and then go back and fill out the rest of my bench. So for kickers, I'm pretty sure Gakowski and Vinatieri are already taken, which is fine. But still, we have Graham Gano, who I was really, really high on, and obviously Hauschka, who I just highlighted. I was high on both of those guys. Yeah, okay, so now we got both of them still, Hauschka and Gano. I'm gonna go. Oh, Vinatieri was still out here. Ooh, but I'm gonna go with Graham just because um, I know how much. I know how much Cam Newton's going to score this season, and Graham is going to get all those points. So I went with. I think that's the thing about Vinatieri. It's like, yeah, he's a great kicker, but like, his offense. We don't really know. Like, well, we don't really know what we can expect from Andrew Luck this season, and he's not a for sure. Where Graham Gano is a pretty for sure like solid kicker to have. Jimmy Graham, that was an interesting late pick. He's Jimmy Graham. Like, if you said Jimmy Graham was going to go in the 13th round, like 2 years ago, you were insane. Like, but now he just kind of really fell off. But he could be that could be a great value play. Like, Jimmy Graham could definitely be a guy that um, kind of comes back and is actually has a decent season and becomes a top 10, even top 5 tight end this year. So yeah, so now like not a whole lot of value in running backs and receivers. Like I still only have 2 running backs, so it's kind of discouraging. I probably should have picked up somebody else. I guess we're looking at Shane Vereen, maybe Spencer Ware. Like it's not a whole lot to work with here. Either that or Darren Sproles. I'm gonna go with Darren Sproles because Ryan Matthews isn't to me like a dominant running back, and maybe Darren Sproles takes his spot. That could happen. So I'm gonna take Sproles. Hopefully it works out for me. Um, but you still have guys like Mariota or Andy Dalton. I really like Andy Dalton. I feel like he's really underranked. Like I said, like what do I have him on my QBs? I had Andy Dalton 9th. Like he was definitely like really undervalued. Honestly, like I think I'm gonna kind of go with the strategy of drafting a good QB and then drafting Andy Dalton way late at like I said in the 14th, 15th round. I think that's gonna be my strategy now. Not that I like him. Like, I mean, do I like him a little bit more than Kirk Cousins? Maybe maybe just a little bit. Man, so now I like Sammy Coates. I think that has some value to it. I mean, it was either that or like a quarterback, I guess. Like, but I mean, I don't want to have 3 quarterbacks. Maybe Ted Ginn for next pick. Like, that also has some value to it. Rashard Matthews, maybe Rashard Matthews. I mean, I guess I'm targeting one of those guys. Ted Ginn or Rashard Matthews for my last final pick. Oh, I see Jermaine Kearse down there. That's an interesting pick. Oh, they're gonna go auto pick. Probably gonna get stuck with Rashard Matthews, which is fine. Roberto, guys, that's an interesting pick for kicker because he's a rookie. I'm hoping this guy drafts some guy below Ted Ginn. And he didn't. Oh, wait, he did. He drafted a defense. I get Ted Ginn. Fuck yeah. Okay, so I got Ted Ginn. That was worked out pretty well for me. Okay, sweet. That's my team. Pretty solid, I think. I like it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, David Johnson, Brandon Marshall, Jordan Reed, Deion Lewis, Emmanuel Sanders, John Brown, Tom Brady, Stephon Diggs, and then then these guys are just bench guys. I mean, yeah, obviously not happy with Michael Thomas, but I guess I got him. And Texans D, Graham Gano, and then all these bench guys. Um, but yeah, that's the roster that I'm looking at. Um, only 40 minutes. That's not too bad. And I thought I definitely like if you look at all these other teams, um, I thought I definitely had one of the better teams. I thought I definitely had one of the better teams in the draft, which is good. Definitely confident. I definitely just I definitely thought I did a good job of like talking through what like I did if I like my picks. If I didn't, maybe kind of tell me that, and I'll kind of try to fix that for my next mock draft. But yeah, as I was saying, maybe Kirk Cousins in the 11th was too soon. I probably could have waited and got Andy Dalton in the 15th, and then yeah, I could have waited and got Andy Dalton. I could have waited to get in and got Andy Dalton in the 15th, and because they're really two similar talents, and then I could have taken some better players. Like I could have taken. Who would I have taken over? I guess I could have taken my defense then, but I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have taken one of these players. And even I don't like any of those players, but maybe Jack Stockton. Yeah, and then yeah, maybe it worked out a little bit better for me. Maybe not though, but um, that's where I was at. Other than that, pretty successful draft. Obviously, there was the one pick, like right here, the ninth and 10th rounds. I don't know what happened. Like I was like late on picking Green Beckham because I almost accidentally picked LeGarrette Blount, but I like didn't. Like thank goodness, and then it changed. I got Michael Thomas. And I didn't want to draft him. I was going for Will Fuller. Or actually, no, was I going to draft? I was going to draft. I don't even know. Yeah, no, I was going to draft Will Fuller. Yeah, and I didn't. But other than that, pretty good draft. I still thought my team turned out well. Like even if you make one mistake like that, you still can have a really solid team. Um, but yeah, that has been my first mock draft video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave any comments. Please leave some comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.